And we are back on Ramplify with mother, daughter, soon-to-be graduates, Kirk, Shell, and Judy. We're trying to figure out why they decided to go to community college together. So we've learned that you guys are from Nolens, New Orleans. I love saying that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, and then you guys ended up coming to California, San Fernando Valley, Los Angeles area for several years, and then from there you decided fresh start after your mother, the matriarch, passed away, and then you ended up moving to the high desert.
Yes.
And then that was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And then you were just about to tell us before the host rudely and abruptly decided to go to commercial break, tell us how Victor Valley College came to be. Oh, before we do that, because my ADHD is really bad.
Okay.
So chef, like what's like the dish, the go-to dish?
So we love doing a jambalaya, Cajun shrimp or chicken sausage.
That's like your go-to?
Yes, that or gumbo.
Oh, that's because you're from the South, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're from New Orleans. So we always have to add that little Cajun cuisine touch to it. And I kind of drifted off of the catering for a while. I was doing it a lot in LA for about 3-4 years. My mom would step in with a lot of the chafing dishes and all the little tools and things I needed. So she funded the whole catering I did, but I was doing the, private caterings outside of my home.
Yeah.
And then I decided, it's too much work. I need a little more manpower to help me carry these things. And I kind of let that go for a while. But I want to include that into my childcare, when I move further on into the future.
Do you think I get that you kind of put it to the side and stuff, but it sounds like you're still passionate about it. You think you'll ever like bust out a cookbook one of these days?
Of course. I mean, when it comes to children, you have to create menus. You have to create some type of, dietary needs. So I'm going to always have that in me to have that. So I'm going to always include the two.
That's cool. I love that. All right.
We love to eat kids.
Here we are. The year is 2020.
Yes.
You are living in the high desert, the 760.
Yeah.
According to you, it's the clean part.
Oh, yeah.
818 to 760.
Yeah.
Apple Valley is what you have claimed here.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you have discovered a little old community college, now known as the fastest growing community college in California.
I love it.
So how did that happen? What happened? Who was it? What was it that you discovered?
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I took a long drive out here, and then I discovered that it's very clean, it's very rural, it's quiet. It was like a little tinsel town to me, right? And just like Herschel mentioned, she wanted a break from catering. So she kind of got her timeline a little mixed up, which I can understand. The young mother sometimes. No,
That look, mom,
Zoom in
he's
on that
recording
look.
this.
No, but she had been doing it for quite some time. She did the LA food show. She had a chance to pair with a lot of the celebrity chefs, like what's his name, Curtis Stone, and stuff like that. She
Oh my
did the
God.
LA
Chef
food
Duff
show.
Doesn't Curtis
Goldman.
Stone sell like that special cookware?
He
It
does.
does.
Yeah.
He has
Yes.
My
that
aunt bought his
ring
stuff.
to it.
It's good. It's good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So-
absolutely lovely.
So she was
Wonderful
one of the
chefs.
more up and coming young chefs, right? But as far as the business part, I handled most of that, and I was also her sous chef. But I learned how to cook by watching my dad. He was a chef.
And my
Rochelle
grandma.
learned how to cook
you.
by watching me. And so when she told me she was passionate about that, I encouraged her to go to Le Cordon Bleu, and then she went from there to
LATTC.
LA Trade Tech. Yeah.
LATTC.
And so moving forward to the desert, when we got out here, she said, Mom, I want to take a break. I'm like, what? All of that money and time I invested in this business?
Yeah.
You're passionate about this. So I said, okay, let's do this. Why don't we go to school? I said, let's trade off. So I used to be an elementary school teacher and a preschool teacher, and I had my own family daycare. So she went back to school for early childhood education, and I'm back here for culinary arts, restaurant man.
roles.
So we switched roles
Oh
for a
my
minute.
God.
So we were like, hey, yeah, that way we can both have a degree in the same field, So this is how we came to Victor Valley College.
I find that fascinating.
Yeah.
And the reason I wanted to dig into that and the reason why I pushed you guys, encouraged you guys to do the podcast is because and as you guys know my background in journalism, I find certain stories very fascinating. And one of the stories I find fascinating is similar to your stories. I find like sons and fathers and daughters and mothers.
Yes.
Not super common, but I find it happening on community colleges. Parents and adult children going to college at the same time.
Wow.
And let's normalize that.
Yes.
I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
I do
absolutely.
too.
And I find your story inspiring. Like, why not?
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you.
When we say community college, community, hello.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes. Speaking of community, we do have 6 streets that we've adopted in the town of
Absolutely.
Apple Valley. So we are very privy and
Community
passionate about
volunteers.
community involvement.
I'm sorry. Did they say they adopted 6 streets?
We adopted
Yes.
6 streets. So when you go down the golf course area, you can see our names,
The Harris family.
the children, nieces,
Oh, that's you
nephews.
guys?
That's
Yes.
Oh my!
Oh, you see the Harris family signs? All right.
That's
Yeah.
Look at you guys.
Yeah, so you
So-
see Shelly there. That's my nickname. So everyone knows me as Miss Shelly instead of Miss Kershell.
Or Chef
They go
Shelley.
by both, or Chef Shelly.
Yeah.
That is so inspiring.
So all of that
Thank
you
came.
know, I have been trying for the longest time.
To find out,
No. I've been trying for the
Oh.
longest time to have the town of Apple Valley at least dedicate a street in my name. Because I grew up in Apple Valley.
Oh, nice.
And here you are.
Mm-hmm.
You have all the streets
takeover.
that you have dedicated because
Yeah.
you clean them up and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Yeah.
should clean up one street. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong.
Sure,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you commit to it yearly,
Come
you
work
can
with us,
definitely
yeah.
get a
Man,
street.
that's a commitment.
Yeah.
oh yeah, yes.
I'll have to think
We
about
even have
it.
the little ones taking the bags and raking things, and
Oh, you
my
make the
little
children
one
do
started
labor.
at 2.5 years old.
Good
yeah.
for you. At
Yes,
2.
and
Yes.
he's got like pictures of him growing up doing the community volunteer work.
with a binky in his mouth.
With
You
a
call it
binky in the
volunteer work.
wagon.
I call it labor. Good for you. Spinning it around like that.
And I have to say that community involvement part comes from the way I raised my children,
Yeah, we've
because even
always-
though as a single parent, I wanted them to always be involved in community. I was an elected official, a neighborhood council president for 13 years
And I
for the city
catered
of
for them.
LA. Yeah, so all
was
that
fun.
community involvement started at home, and I'm very passionate about that. That is something I always want to do, and I'm right now trying to find my niche here at the college, because I say, hey, we got to give back, because I think we found the best jewel in the high desert here at
Yeah.
Victor Valley College. The resources are here. I'm like, everyone that attends school here, there's no way they can fail. The only way
very
is because they don't want it. You have to want it because the resources are here. We meet beautiful people like you guys. We met
Hear that?
Robert.
Yeah.
I'm going to
You know,
stop you again.
I love.
She said beautiful, and then she gestured to me like
Yes,
this.
I loved how he just literally.
I mean,
just
we were
opened
just
up the door
so-
to just bring out talents.
Yeah.
You know, even
Yeah.
me shying away from the singing. You know, I was involved in the Winter Talent Show. You know, things like that
Yeah.
kind of broaden the student, the child, everyone's, personality. And I think it brings a lot of character to the school.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you bringing that out of me, because I was going to give that up too and put that on the shelf.
Oh, I love being
And,
appreciated.
yeah.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Yeah, and she's been
Yeah.
singing.
Hear that,
most
Haley?
Of her
I'm
life.
appreciated. We're gonna take another quick break, but
Okay.
then it's not always rosy. I wanna kind of dig deep into challenges,
Okay.
because we all have challenges. We're
Yes,
all
we do.
human, and we want to discuss that openly. So we'll be
Yes.
back with Kirk Shell and Judy in just a second. Don't go away. It is
All right.
Ramplify the
Come
podcast.
right back. Get that snack.
All right.